scope of a variable. Okay, so I'm going to have two functions. So as usual, I have a main function, and I'm going to have another function. Let's call it void uh, void scope, let's say. And okay, I'm going to have a variable here int x, which is, let me say I set to 0. I'm going to print f x here. Okay, slash n value of x in main is equal to %d comma x. Now I'm going to have int x, and I printf here slash n value of x in scope is equal to %d comma x. Scope. Right. So this is our program. So I have the same I have a variable x being defined inside main, and I have a variable x being defined inside the function scope. Okay, what will be the value of x in main? As you could say, it's 0. What will be the value of x in scope? Okay, so right now we don't know, because that value is not the 0, that value is the 0, which is now arbitrary value, right? So if I had, let me put this thing to be 20, what do you expect the gcc scope.cc./a.out? Clearly value of x in main is 0, and value of x in scope function is 0, right? Okay, so you can have different you can have same variable name in different functions, and the value of in that function is the value being assigned there. Okay, just add on. Okay, what happens if I don't have this thing? I commented this line out. Is it going to print the value of x in main here? Let's try that. No, it's saying undeclared identifier x. The compiler does not know what x is here. Okay, so it does not know what this x is, and therefore it can't do. So we need to have this here. I'm going to add this back. So now let's do it. Okay, it compiled well, right? Okay, now there is one more place you can give a variable. So I can have an x here. Okay, I can have a x variable defined, which is now outside all the functions. And now so what happens now? Does the answer change? No, still the value of x in main is 0, because x has been defined here and it's being given 0. Value of x inside the scope is still 20 and it's been defined there. Okay, now let me try to I commented this scope function out. Okay, sorry, not the entire function. I just commented out the variable declaration for x inside the scope function, and I am doing that. I'm going to compile that. I run that. What do you see? Value of x in scope function is 100. Okay, so what you see here is that so inside the scope function 100, the value 100 is printed. The 100 value is the one outside the function. So this is an extern variable, a variable which has been declared outside the scope of outside the body of all functions. Okay, so it's in the main body, therefore this gets printed there. Now what shall I just put it below the function? What do you expect it to, the answer? You should see that I have explained to you this, what the result should be. It should be a compiler error, right? Because as we said, The compiler goes from the top, it goes from the top, it comes down and sees x, and it does not know what it x is. Therefore, it says no, I don't know, and it says basically undeclared identifier x. So it does not know. So I go back, I place it back there, and I compile. Yeah. So it worked, right? So if an what's out variable declared outside, it works there. And similarly, what happens if I commented out this x inside the main? Okay, so both places it's the value is 100, right? I can try this, right? So this is value of scope, in scope is 20, and here it's 100. Okay, so what is the takeaway? The takeaway is that if a variable is declared inside the function, then the function uses the value which is used there. Okay, what has been declared there. Okay, once x is inside declared inside the scope inside this function, then the value of x is what has been declared inside. If I have not declared the function here just in main, sorry, if I had not declared the variable inside the function like in main, then the value x will take the value which has been declared outside. So the preference is for the variable declared inside. Even if it's not there, you take the value which is declared outside. That's the preference order. If it's not declared either inside or outside, I have committed both, then it's an error. You have to declare it somewhere. Either it has to be inside the body of the function, or it has to be declared totally fully outside. It's not in some other function. Okay, this is scope of function, scope of variables, etc. And this is also true for yeah. So this could have been I could have had this could have been an array, for example, in AR, for example, something 2 comma 3 comma 5, and now I can access this AR from both the functions. Let me do the following and see. I'm going to comment this thing out. So I first print the value of x, then I call scope, I print the value, I change the value of x to 50, then I call scope again. What happens now? Right, so the first time the value of x in main is printed with 100. Second time value of x in scope is printed with 100. Okay, because the current value. Then x has been changed to 50, and then scope function is again called, so value of x in scope is 50. Okay, so if the value is so this is called as an extern variable because that variable has been declared outside, and this is a variable which can be accessed by any function. Okay, that's an important takeaway. Okay, so that is the scope of